Hey guys, Sacco here. I want to talk really quick about the four biggest needs for the 49ers moving into the NFL draft. First and foremost, I want to say this. I don't think that the 49ers are as good of a team as they were as the squad that left the field at the end of the Super Bowl. And the reason that I think that is because the loss of Emmanuel Sanders and DeForest Buckner are huge for this team. And we'll start with Sanders first in this wide receiver room, which I think is the biggest need for the 49ers. And if you look at that group, the Niners gave up a lot to get Sanders. They gave up a couple of draft picks to bring him in to the fold, and he made a huge difference. He made the people around him better. He made impact plays. And without him, there's not much there, and I'll explain what I mean. You have Deebo Samuel, who we expect to have a good second season. He had really a historic rookie year for the Niners, putting up 820 receiving yards, which was the second most ever, trailing only Jerry Rice for the regular season for rookies for the 49ers. So you have him, and you have Kendrick Bourne, who I think is a really good role player, and he's made some big catches for the Niners, but I believe that's where he fits in. If he's a role player, he's a good person to mix here and there, but you need more there in the receiver group. And beyond that, you have Trent Taylor, who hasn't been healthy in 2 years. You have Jalen Hurd, who couldn't get on the field last year because of back issues. You have Dante Pettis, who couldn't get on the field last year because of performance. The Niners didn't play him. Travis Benjamin was brought in, but he hasn't done much other than really return kicks in the past couple of seasons, and it looks like Marquise Goodwin is on the way out. So not only can you not count on that receiver group to be on the field, you can't count on them to produce. If they're not on the field, how can you count on them to produce? And most of those guys haven't been on the field. So right now you have Bourne and you have Deebo, and that's it. So I really believe that wide receiver has to be definitely one of the top priorities in this draft. And we mentioned Buckner as well. And the consensus is, well, the Niners have a deep defensive line, but really think about it right now without Buckner. You definitely have Bosa. You definitely have Armstead, and DJ Jones is going to be a good piece there at the nose tackle position. And you have Ford as well. But Ford's had some knee issues, and you don't know if he's going to be able to play really the whole season. Also, the guys that you have coming back, Julian Taylor, Ronald Blair, who's a huge piece of this defense, they're both coming off of ACL injuries. You have guys like Contavious Street who haven't really been healthy. There's really beyond those top four guys, there's not a lot there that you can count on because of injuries or whatever else. So again, that's a position that you may see them take a high pick on, because the way that they've won games is with the defensive line, with that dominant front four, with Ford, with Buckner, with Armstead and Bosa. And maybe they just inject somebody in there, maybe like a Kinlaw, to replace Buckner. We'll see. The other two positions I think that are positions of need as we go into this draft. First, I'll say cornerback. And that may not be a position of need this year because you still have Witherspoon, you still have Williams, you still have Mosley, you still have Sherman. But Sherman, Witherspoon, and Williams are all in the last year of their deals this year. So do the Niners bring in someone early, assuming that two or maybe all those guys aren't going to be there in 2021? That'll be interesting to see. But that position, I think, is a big need. And the last position is interior offensive line. And the reason for that is Weston Richburg's health. We don't know. He's had a lot of injuries in his career. He's had concussions. He's coming off a major leg injury. So we'll see how he rebounds. And also, they released Mike Person, which I think is okay because you have Daniel Brunskill there, who you would assume is going to be the starter. But you wonder if they'll bring someone in there to compete. The other kind of unknown right now is what's happening with Joe Staley. And he's getting older. He's going to be 36, I believe, this year. And he's only got a year or two left on his contract. How much longer does he want to play? How effective is he going to be? How healthy is he going to be? And do the Niners want to start to plan for his exit right now? If maybe Staley's only going to be around another year, or maybe not even next year, you could see a tackle taken as early as the first round. But here's something you have to consider. Daniel Brunskill was excellent at tackle last year. Excellent. He was one of the top-rated pass blocking tackles in the league. So you have to wonder if he's someone the Niners think is a long-term fix. And another interesting thing that I noticed in the Super Bowl, when Staley went out for a number of plays, they didn't even bring in Brunskill. They brought in Justin Skule. Brunskill is the better tackle than me, so I was surprised by that. But maybe they're high on Skule, and maybe he's something that they think they can develop into a starting left tackle as the years go on. We'll have to see about that, but it'll be interesting. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This is the first year in a while where I have no clue where the Niners are going in the first round. I don't know if they're going to go receiver. I don't know if they're going to go cornerback. I don't know if they're going to go defensive line. I don't know if they're going to go tackle. I don't know what they're going to do in the first round. Nothing would surprise me, and it's going to be a very interesting draft to see who they pick and what they do and where this team is headed. So very interesting. Thanks for listening today. Make sure to follow me at Sacco 49 on Twitter. Appreciate it, and we'll see you at the draft.